Hello, my name is Sarah. I'm one of the dietitians who works with County Durham and Darlington NHS Foundation Trust. Today I'm going to be showing you how to make a gluten-free carrot cake.
And hello, my name is Jess. I'm also one of the dietitians and I'm here to learn a little bit more about the recipes we're going to be making today.
We've got 170 grams of gluten-free flour that's self-raising, so we put that in the bowl.
So is this recipe then a gluten-free?
It is. It's actually one I've adapted from being an ordinary recipe because a lot of celiacs feel that they have to buy special books. But what I found is that you can actually just swap your ingredients around and use the gluten-free flours that you can either get on prescription or buy from the supermarkets from the free from shelves.
Okay.
So we put that in the bowl. Then we also add in some bicarbonate of soda, a teaspoon of cinnamon, and then also some ground mixed spice, a teaspoon of that. One of the key ingredients when you're making gluten-free baking is xanthan gum, because it adds the elasticity back into the cakes and the scones or the bread that you're making. So that's a teaspoon of that as well.
And with the xanthan gum, can you buy that in supermarkets?
Yeah.
Or do you need to go to a specialist shop?
You will find it in health food shops, but you can also buy it in the free from aisles in the supermarkets as well. So what we're going to do is just sift that all together.
So these are all the dry ingredients firstly?
Yeah, all the dry ingredients. And then what you do to that is add 170 grams of light soft brown sugar and tip that into the bowl. Whilst I'm mixing that in together, could you, there's 2 large eggs, could you put those in and give them a whisk together?
No problem.
And then to that, we add 125 mils of sunflower oil.
And is it important that it's sunflower oil as opposed to vegetable oil?
You probably could use vegetable oil, but I tend to use sunflower. Then we add that in to the dry ingredients. You don't have to be precious about getting this all.
So you
just mix it all in together. So the key ingredient that goes into carrot cake is carrots. So put that in. What we've also got is the sultanas. You could also use raisins or maybe other dried fruit as well, depending on what you prefer. I have actually, to plump them up a bit, I've soaked them in some orange juice overnight, but you could change your spices and your juice around, so you could use lemon juice and put ginger in as a spice, just to give it a bit of a different angle to carrot cake.
So you can add some different flavours to it depending on what you prefer as well.
Yeah. And then finally walnuts, but you could also use hazelnuts as well. So there's about 60 grams of hazelnut or walnuts there. So that's us ready now to just put it into the cake tin and ready to go in the oven.
So that's it.
It's quick, easy, simple.
And this is a gluten-free cake, so it's suitable for celiac patients.
Suitable for celiacs, but also if somebody's following the FODMAP diet, they could use this. They would just, depending if they were intolerant of fructose, they'd have to miss out the fruit. If they have a nut intolerance, then they could miss out nuts as well. So you can adapt it for many free-from recipes because there's no butter in there, so it's actually dairy-free already. And there we go, ready to go in the oven.
So how long do you bake this for then?
So it goes in an oven that's 170 fan, about 180-90 get a static oven, and about 5-6 for gas mark. And it goes in the oven for 40-45 minutes. So I'll just take it there. So here's one that I made earlier, Jess. As we're going to ice it, I've left this one to cool down so that the icing won't melt. But what you can normally do, just to check if it has cooked, is put a skewer through it, and if it comes out clean, it's cooked.
So roughly how long does a cake like this need to cool for?
I would say probably about an hour, but just put your fingers lightly on and you'll see if it's cooled down or not. So what we need to do first off is get about 75 grams of icing sugar. And I know this is a little sieve, but we sieve it, or attempt to sieve it, just to get out most of the lumps.
And if we were going to keep this cake lactose free, because the cake itself?
The cake itself is currently lactose free, and what there are now, a couple of companies are making lactose free cream cheese. So if you were lactose intolerant, you could continue to have substitute it.
Fantastic.
Or you can make it healthy and use a low-fat cream cheese, which is what we're using today. So we're also going to add in half a teaspoon of cinnamon. Again, when I said about adding ginger and lemon, you could swap the cinnamon to ginger to add into the frosting. We add in about 100 grams of cream cheese and then mix it in. So sometimes it goes a little bit lumpy, so you just need to give it a good mix. We add that on top of the cake. And what you can do is you can see the icing's a little bit runny, but I tend to keep my carrot cake in the fridge once it's iced, and then it helps to harden it up a bit. So to recap, add all your dry ingredients together, then mix in the egg oil mixture, add in the carrots and the remaining ingredients, and then put in the oven for 40 minutes. Once it's cooled, you can then ice it with your icing sugar and cream cheese mixture.
As dietitians, we're regulated healthcare professionals and we can advise on specialist diets. If you want to know more, please visit our website or ask to be referred via your GP or specialist nurse. Trust a dietitian to know about nutrition.